straight shots and I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion.
It's fourth quarter, 1 second, all you hear is swish. My motivation is to keep all the haters pissed. It's the anticipation, the way the crowd just sound. And I ain't talking home court when I'm stomping ground. The stomach hurt, oh Lord, my answer. I'm gassed up in that lay down to Atlanta.
Top and all they haters wanna see a nigga fall, but I'm not, cause I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. And you don't wanna ain't no way that I'm stopping. Look at me in the game, fourth quarter, straight shots and I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion.
We're back here on Hope for Tomorrow Radio, here on reggae2reggae.com. Radio like you've never seen it, TV like you've never heard it. This is Hope for Tomorrow Radio. Me and my wonderful co-host, we were just discussing about the plight of being persistent and having perseverance, that it's not easy. And there's going to be some things that you're going to go through before, during, and after the process that it's still going to be, you know, like, dang, when is this over? But the getting there is the greatest part. And I think that a lot of times we overlook the fact that life is a journey. And along the ways on that journey, there's obstacles that you're going to encounter and that you're going to have to maneuver through and overcome in order to get where you want to go, receive what you want to have, and to become who you want to be. And I think the beauty of our struggles, it allows us to be shaped by it, and it doesn't necessarily define us, but it can definitely add character to you. Because at the end, only you can define yourself. Not someone else, not a thing, not a material object, or anything anybody can pretty much say to you or about you. You, the person and the individual, and the content of your character is going to define you. But your struggles will help shape you, and shape you in the right way. And pretty much that's what we're talking about tonight. Again, we wanted to give a round of applause to Andrew Brown, Christopher London, for doing their great job and, you know, and stepping forth and overcoming, because that took great perseverance and persistence, and because of their endurance, you know, they're going to be in great jobs. Also to the ladies that were donating to our cause, forgive me, I don't want to look too far off to the left there.
Eunice Curry.
I mean, Eunice Curry, Shauna, I don't want to say the names wrong, I want to make sure I give everybody their Shauna Stevens, Eunice Curry,
and Donna Johns.
And Donna Johns. You got a wonderful memory.
You know, when people is donating, you better remember.
I wanted to make sure that we definitely give them a big shout out. Forgive me for straining my neck to look over to find the paper, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned their names and mentioned them the right way, because it takes effort from individuals like that.
Love.
And a tremendous amount of love.
I mean,
Tremendous amount of love.
First of all, society look at, why should we help them?
Mm-hmm.
They made a mistake. You know, it's like,
that's true.
You not ever made a mistake, you know, and then, you know, they feel like, well, they had opportunities, they blew it, you know.
Yes,
so
they do.
So they're like non-biased people, you know. In order to be a person of God, you have to be non-biased, you know.
That's true.
I mean, there are realities in life. Like, yes, there are white people that hate blacks. Mm-hmm. And yes, there are black people that hate whites.
Yeah, that's vice versa.
But then, you know, this is a reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not mean that everybody constitute that same category. You understand?
Beautiful point.
And then, not only that, I always think of, look how God used Saul.
Mm-hmm.
So that same white supremacist or black supremacist, you know what I mean? He could use them. You understand that?
He'll give them their road to Damascus for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
He
so
will.
I don't just put a tag, you know, like how they would tag someone's toe when they dead and toss them to the morgue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God said, turn from your wicked ways, you know, and seek Him. His hands is outstretched. With everything that He speaks of, yes, there's a destruction, and yes, there's a wage to it.
Yes.
But He also give us that chance. It's like, look, you ain't dead yet. You still got a chance. I'm still here waiting.
Yes.
You know, look, how much time you going to have to fall down in that same pile up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Before you realize.
The thing that is, you said something that I really wanted to kind of reiterate on. that regardless if you're a white supremacist or a black supremacist or whatever you are, the truth about it is God doesn't care about color. The beauty of it is that I think a lot of times people use those things to kind of set others back, and it wind up setting themselves back in the process, because what all of us need to understand is that you're here for me, I'm here for you. There's somebody that you can reach that I can't. There's somebody that I can reach that you can't.
Right.
All of us have a job, and all of us were born with purpose. There's not one of us that God made that wasn't made with a purpose. But what happens is people let ignorance and certain ideologies and bad teaching, the enemy, whatever it may be, that tool or that spirit that came in their minds and darkened them. Because if you notice that the Bible talks about cleansing you and making your sins white as snow, or you're not tarnished anymore. I think some people misinterpret that the wrong way and think that it's because of the color of their skin, or because they feel like they're so much better than others that that doesn't count for them.
So they're gonna bleach as white as
Right,
snow.
you know what I mean? And a lot of times I think that I believe that the misinterpretation of God's word is another thing that has led to some of this debacle that's going on in our lives at times. And until we learn that our purpose goes beyond skin color, character, culture, creed,
It's
even
beyond
religion.
mortal.
Yes, it's beyond, it's
that.
everlasting.
Yeah.
And once we get that vision of what God is trying to show us, that, hey, I've put you all here for a greater purpose. And until you put that first, you're going to keep running into these stumbling blocks. And, you know,
That's
you,
why,
you
you
said
know,
it. You said it.
With the woman with the issue, to be with that issue for so long, I mean, man, how did she even stay alive?
I know, because you're bleeding like that for years.
Like 12 years.
12 years. I mean, that's why, you know, I want to look. Go ahead. I want to keep talking.
That's
I want to
like
look back that up.
hemorrhaging.
And I mean, for her to go through that, and
So let me write.
No,
that,
go
stick
ahead,
a pin.
go ahead.
When you said for her to go through that, and with the 12 years of going through it, so now God is who designed life, right?
Yeah.
So I can only say that was God's design right there, because she, out of all individuals back in that time,
she was the
has
one. Yes.
a story. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? So now that story was a preservation, because I'm saying 12 years of bleeding and she's still alive. And I mean, in all, he used her.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And it took 12 years for the action of the purpose of why was that woman bleeding for 12 years.
That I believe God gave her so she could have this testimony.
To glorify His
To
name.
glorify Him. He allowed, because there's some things that I believe God allows the enemy to do to you.
Well,
To an extent.
Let's not give the enemy any credit.
No, he doesn't get any credit.
Remember what we keep on doing. We keep giving him too much credit.
That's true too.
Okay, because you know this whole thing it coincides, because when we sit here and we run nothing. Like I say, we run our mouths.
Yeah.
And most of the time we're not saying nothing. Okay, so that's the only thing we run. We don't even run our lives, because you can get up right now and have a big old plan. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the bar, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna this and I'm gonna that, and guess what?
It doesn't happen.
It might not be the plan God
Somebody
had for you
can
that very
come
minute.
outside and say, "Hey, Rick, come here with me. There's this going on," and you gotta go.
Not only that, he could cause you to just instantly get sick,
Yeah, anything.
and that's not the plan he had for you. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of where we ask God to direct our path.
Yes.
And to be the lamp unto our feet.
Yes.
You know, because in anything, even without asking him this, the book is already written on our lives. So whatever, it's like even the children in the wilderness, he told them specifically what to do. They did not do it, so they went walking for 40 years. They could have went their book within but he already knows, stubborn and rebellious generation. They ain't gonna listen.
No.
So, okay, y'all making it harder on yourself. You understand?
A lot of it, as you said, is unfaithfulness is a part of it. When certain things, I think that sometimes we kind of alienate ourselves from God to a point where it's like we don't really include him. As you said, instead of asking him for direction, it's like we decide we found our own way.
I want to go that way.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like Dorothy on the yellow brick road. If you know what I mean, you're like,
exactly.
Okay, well, let's go do this, and you're off to the wizard.
It's time to click and go home.
Yeah, and then you're clicking and there ain't nothing happening.
Why did you click?
You're in a world of trouble.
Okay.
You're in a world of trouble.
I don't just when I went
No, go ahead, baby.
I did not go to prison. They took me there.
Yeah. That wasn't a goal. That wasn't a trip that was on.
I didn't volunteer.
Yeah, you didn't co-sign on that one. That was involuntary.
When they took me to prison, I had heard someone say to this individual, said, "Oh, you found God
I got it.
in prison." And I'm like, what does it matter where the person found him?
Okay. We're going to hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. More Hope for Tomorrow Radio here on reggae2reggae.com.
All you hear is swish. My motivation is to keep all the haters pissed. It's the anticipation, the way the crowd just sound. And I ain't talking home court when I'm stomping ground. The stomach hurt, oh Lord, my Lancer. I'm gassed up in LA down to Atlanta.
My top and all they haters wanna see a nigga fall, but I'm not, cause I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. And you don't wanna
tuned to reggae2reggae.com, and we have more for you. Keep it locked.
Make way for the righteous ones. I'm not carrying no guns to the worst spit fire. Make way for the righteous ones. I'm not carrying no guns to the worst spit fire. Big up Reggae to Reggae. This is Natalie with my girl Cherie.
One love. Bless.
Oh!
This is brought down to Reggae to Reggae TV.
This is the Uprising Roast Band, and I represent for reggae2reggae.com. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Sing, check out, I'm out. Trench down, you keep on rocking. Bang, bang, bidong, bang, bang, bang. Trench down, you keep on rocking. Yeah, the Uprising.
Hi, this is Sonia Richard Ross, and you're watching Reggae to Reggae TV.
Reggae to reggae. Reggae to reggae, taking over the world.
Never be in the game, 4 quarters straight shots, and I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. I'm a bottom, but now I'm on top, and all they haters wanna see a nigga fall, but I'm not, cause I'm a champion.
We are back. Hope for Tomorrow Radio here on reggae2reggae.com. Radio like you've never seen it, TV like you've never heard it. Again, with the wonderful co-host with the most, Octavia Duhaney. I'm yours truly, Ricardo Stevenson, and it's been a pleasure to entertain you tonight. We just want to go over again the address for the donations in case, because, you know, people want to help out, and there's a lot of, you know, interest that we've been building towards this program, and we continue to need that extra boost, and if we can only get that through the help of others, that's why God has placed us here on earth for one another. So we're asking our compatriots, our compadres, our kindred spirits that are out there to please donate towards this cause. It's for a worthy cause to help others. And again, it is Hope for Tomorrow, care of Wendy Lovejoy, 6555 Sugarloaf Parkway, Suite 307, Duluth, Georgia, 30097. Again, Hope for Tomorrow, care of Wendy Lovejoy, 6555 Sugarloaf Parkway, Suite 307, Duluth, Georgia, 30097. And a big shout out again to the ladies that contributed. We want to definitely mention you live. Our graphics department is also looking for something to put up on the screen to also, you know, acknowledge you guys, because we really appreciate it. North Carolina, we got Shauna Stevens, donated clothes and slippers. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Shauna Stevens from North Carolina, for donating clothes and slippers. Donna Johns donated $200 of her hard-earned cash, her hard-earned money that she worked for, to send to Hope for Tomorrow. Thank you so much, Donna Johns. God bless you. Thank you. And the mother of Minister Lovejoy, God bless her soul, Eunice Curry from Atlanta, Georgia. She filled a barrel, God bless your soul, and sent it off to us. Thank you so much for those contributors. That is so important to this cause for our viewers and our listeners out there. That's why we keep reiterating this and highlighting those people and giving them a strong shout out and a very much well-deserved thank you, because they went through and gave up this effort. I mean, trust me, it's hard times right now. Anybody can find something to do with their $200. Miss Eunice, she didn't have to, you know, sit down and spend her time going shopping and filling barrels to send out here. And Shauna Stevens with the clothes and the slippers. Thank you guys so much. That shows that that's love, and you really care, and that love can only be put in your heart from God. Amen. Big round of applause to you. Thank you so much. Now we continue on with our conversation where we left off at, and you know, you were right about, you know, basically, you know, as individuals on how we look at circumstances sometimes when it comes to our own endurance. And I think that at the end of the day, if you can really look in yourself in the mirror and say, hey, listen, I gave my best today, you know, and this is what happened, all right? You know, my day didn't go the way I might have wanted it, but I gave my best. But you know what? I'm getting up tomorrow and I'm going to go do it again. That speaks a lot more about the person than the one that's like, man, heck, man, they threw me off that bus. I was trying to get where that's it, man. I ain't going back over there no more. You know what I mean? And I think that we always talk about mindset on this show. Your mind has a lot to do with your character, too. The way you think. Because people that are quick to throw in the towel, I would dare to say you are weak-minded, but there is a bit of what I would call there's a fringe of miscommitment in you. You're not so committed to the task that if some form of obstacle arise or something ulterior happens that's out of your control, all of a sudden this is too much for you. Then that shows me that, hey, you need a little bit more strength in your perseverance, because if that always happens to you, you're not going to finish the course.
Well, I comprehend your point.
Yeah.
But like I say, you know, like I wouldn't be a judge of character on that, because those other things, sometimes those impulsive acts is what make you turn to what God have designed for you.
That too, hey, that's true. For some, yeah, I'm not trying to put them all in that. Yeah, I'm not trying to put them all in that box. But for some, you're right. There's some moves that you make based upon what you're seeing and what you feel. Because I always say this. Listen to your mind. It won't tell you anything wrong. It may not hit it nail on the head, so to speak, but a lot of times in certain situations, if you're spiritually connected, and all of us are, it's just if you got your line on or not. You know what I mean? Because all of us have that line to God where God speaks to us every day through people, through thoughts, through something that you may have seen, but are you in tune and seeing it? Because there's sometimes like, okay, for instance, there was something I was going through with my vehicle. My vehicle was down and I was trying to get some things sorted. I didn't have the money. And I was like, until I get this cash, this ride is down. Well, the funniest thing happened. God started sending people to me who was asking me, well, Rick, what's up with your ride? This and that. And I was like, well, this is the situation. Like, I got a little oil leak and, I'm going to need these parts to fix it. Before you know it, my uncle pops up in the picture. And he's like, hey, I got this guy. He says this, I can buy this for you to do that. How about that? All right, cool. And my engine is put back together right now. I haven't spent $1.
See?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not totally fixed, but the major hurdle, we've crossed it. You understand? And I'm thankful for that. So that's why I say a lot of times God is speaking to us, and if you don't have the line open, you might miss the call.
And that goes back to me saying God run things.
Yes. You hit it on the head.
How you know that car isn't sitting to save you from an accident?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
We just have to take life and call it to God's words.
Yeah.
Like my thing nowadays is, like I always say, right? I'm not gonna fight life. Meaning just like everybody is so caught up to achieve the big house, the big this and the big that.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But what about that man that has the big house and has the big cars and he can't enjoy any of it?
No, that's true.
So to me, like, it's to call God as His words. To say, okay, Father, you said to delight myself in you and you'll give me my heart's desire. He knows my heart's desire, so I'm looking for this because I'm doing what He said to do. You understand what I'm saying? So like I'm calling Him to His words. Because He magnified His words above His name, so I'm calling Him to His words. You understand? And then at the time, I'm being real with Him. Because today my reflection was, okay, Father, you're God. You know us. We're stubborn. We're rebellious. We're hard-headed. We don't listen. We do what we want to do. We choose to do the things we ain't supposed to do. You understand? And the things we supposed to do, we not doing them. He knew this. So why did you cause us to even still be here? He could have took pleasure with just looking at the earth beauty, the flowers, and the whatever.
There's no damage done to it. Yes.
You understand? He's God. He could have said, look, this creation here, they just ain't no hope. You know what I'm saying? But He didn't. He replenished back the earth after Noah. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? So I say, okay, there has to be some really, how should I say, strong connections. Like umbilical cord connection. That He honor His word, His promises, because like I say, it's because of our forefathers. It's because of the promises God made to our forefathers why we're here. Right? Okay, so it's by the grace of God why we're here. Right? So when I say my prayer in the morning and I could remember those little miraculous things that happened, like when I needed, as simple as it is, I went to fill out this very important application. I didn't have a pencil, and the thing said pencil only. So I said, oh my God, within myself, where am I going to get this pencil? Like I was like, Father, I need a pencil, and I heard a little still voice say, look down at your feet, and I did this. There goes the pencil.
How about that?
Now, how did that pencil get there?
As simple as that is. You see how magnificent that is?
You understand? So I was telling, because we went to this cultural event at Charlestown Maroon Festival. Awesome. I mean, all the things that you would hear about your culture, it is so real.
Yes.
You know, and when you get to have that witness of it, you remember what you read. And almost thinking, this is non-existent because you never saw it before. But now that you see it, you can actually feel it and know, and your inside is rooted in you. When they were playing the drums and they were doing the African dances and the African attires, and when I saw like our women in our African attires, they look so more respectful. You know, they look so much more like the beauty about them. You understand? It was a different thing than this pace-on, clip-on, paper doll look. You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
the royalty
wow,
of it.
It was royal. They look rich. They look like how you would see them make the movies where the men carrying them and someone fanning them. You know? That's how they look. They look like queens and princesses.
Yeah, but that's who we are.
And I'm like, wow.
That's who we are.
But guess what? We're not allowed to wear those clothes in European, you know, like you can't go to work with your, you know, you have to put that conservative and what have you, you know, so
well,
we're
the
limited.
thing is the rules have changed.
So coming to say of the cultural feeling that I got, and I was everything that you're speaking of, that was our conversation about consistency. And you know, staying consistent and persevering and you know, allowing truth to be unleashed. You know, because, and wisdom, you know, my thing about it is let's use our wisdom. You know, it's like wisdom is it's not hiding. It's like they swept it under a big boulder. You know what I'm saying? Like it, and it's so afraid to come out because no one wants it.
It's under our nose, but we tend not to look down for it.
People not using their wisdom now, and they're just not. It's like, how can a man have a child in a pool and turn your back to go make a sandwich?
That's true.
Of course, when you come back from making that sandwich, your baby is going to be dead. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom. Why would you leave that baby in there? Take the baby out. Bring the baby with you. You don't have to face that when you come back. You understand? So it's the same thing for us. Wisdom. You know, use your wisdom. You want something? Sit down, think. What is it that you want?
Hold that point. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're on the topic of keep having wisdom through anything that you do. We'll be right back when Octavia finish up her point. More Hope for Tomorrow Radio here on Reggae to Reggae.
Straight shots and I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion.
It's fourth quarter, 1 second, all you hear is swish. My motivation is to keep all the haters pissed. It's the anticipation, the way the crowd just sound. And I ain't talking home court when I'm stomping ground. The stomach hurt, oh Lord, my lesson. I'm gassed up in that lay down to Atlanta.
So keep it tuned to reggae2reggae.com and we'll have more for you. Keep it locked.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com.
Make way for the righteous ones. I'm not carrying no guns to the world. Spit fire. Make way for the righteous ones. I'm not carrying no guns to the world. Spit fire. Big up Reggae to Reggae. This is Natalie with my girl Cherie.
One love. Bless.
See a nigga fall for the knock 'cause I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. And you don't want to ain't no way that I'm stopping. Never be in the game for a quarter straight shots and I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion.
And we are back live. Hope for Tomorrow Radio here on reggae2reggae.com. It's great to have fun with my co-host. And we always have a little, little kidding around behind the scenes. But truth of the matter is, we always believe in that, God has a purpose for us. And we love doing this show because we get to really talk about things that, those conversations that you have that aren't recorded sometimes are the best ones when you're one-on-one with somebody or in a group and you guys really get into stuff. We get to do that here for a living, and that's the beauty of our job. So I wanted to ask Octavia to finish her point on wisdom, and then we'll take it from there.
Right.
Wisdom.
And as with the lady of the issue of blood, she used her wisdom.
Yes.
She put it. She was wise. There's this man everyone is talking about, performing all these miracles and what have you, and the history and so forth. So she says, look, I've been having this issue. I need to get to this man. Had she not been wise, she would have been like, man, I got to need some dumplings or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What else would you want to do right now, right?
So,
yeah.
I mean, we have to be wise. We have to, because opportunity is like, you have to be wise to even catch that drift of opportunity.
Yes, that's what I was telling you about, having the spiritual ears, being able to hear from God, having your line open, because if you're not going to, all right, listen, none of us can survive without communication. It's impossible.
You got to ask to receive.
Exactly. No matter what. The world could not exist without communication as is. You'd have one country separate from the other. Everybody would be separate from each other, and this world would be so weird and strange. I don't even know how we would. I couldn't have managed a world.
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because we wouldn't communicate with each other.
Yeah.
So you can't survive like that. So imagine not being able to communicate with your Creator, who's set things in place for you, who's put everything out there for you to receive, achieve, and to overcome through, and He uses people to help you. Yeah. I need you. You need me. Yeah. We need Carl. Everything is intertwined and connected. The total stranger that you've never met that's going to come along one day and pump your gas, that you're going to give that extra $100 to, that he's probably going to go home and find his meal for the day, and he just popped out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Everything is connected for some special purpose. And I think that when we don't communicate with God or with one another in the right way, that leads to our demise. And that's a part of not having good wisdom. It would be unwise for us to close the lines of communication with God, much more with one another.
Yeah. I always say, because I read it one time, God say, He looks out for the fool and the babies, right?
Yes.
And I always, when someone tell me they don't know, I don't take that lightly. What I do is I hear that. Because no matter, I always tell people, because I see it with the ignorance of people, like even a child telling their mom, I don't know how to do it. Hear that I don't know. Don't ignore that.
No, that's true.
Because that means if you hit that kid upside his head, he's still not going to know.
Yeah, and that's defeating the purpose.
So if someone say, I don't know, guess what? If you have the patience to allow for you to teach them, for them to know, then that's even better. You know what I'm saying? Than anything else. To allow them now to know. Because it come to that point in time now that you have to hold the responsibility to yourself. You understand? Because, God holds us accountable.
For everything.
Those who know.
That's true.
Those who know, He holds you accountable.
No, that's not a lie.
For those who don't know.
That's true.
Because if someone comes in your path and he did not know, and you know, and you didn't
enlighten him or open it. Yeah, that's
guess
on you.
That's
on you. That's on you. Because it's your purpose. You're not doing.
That's why you know.
Yeah, you're not fulfilling your purpose. Because you haven't been given that knowledge to sit on it or to keep it in your garment for yourself.
Right.
No, this is supposed to be, it's open for you to share, because the thing is, He's trying to win souls.
And then He always tells us, my people die for the lack
of knowledge. For lack of knowledge, people perish. For lack of knowledge, people perish. You ever heard that saying? And it's funny to me now, and I think about it. What you don't know won't hurt you. That's a lie. What you don't know will kill you. Because you always, for lack of knowledge, we perish, right? So just think about this. When we were going through our going-throughs back then, if we would have known, we would have took a lot of different measures, the same measures we took to assure success within the streets. We'd have took some measures to assure that our butts would have not gotten into the worst possible case scenario.
Out of everyone,
yeah.
You know, that's why I say I really embrace and thank God, because believe me, I've seen, you know, looking back into it, so much could have happened. But, you know, that's why I know that God's words is so magnified, you know, that it's so much power and strength in them that people don't even realize. They will say something years behind. And because they've been through so many experiences, they don't even realize I asked for this 20 years ago. I asked for this when I was 5. I asked for this when I was... And because they don't realize that God had heard you, but it wasn't that time to act. Now is the time he presented, and you don't even remember you asked for it. So you didn't even say, thank you, Father, I remember when I asked for this. But there's those who do keep a recollection to say, Father, like, is in expectation of it happening. They'll remember, I remember when I asked for this. You understand? And then they would really feel the joy and know that our Creator hears us, you know, and it doesn't have to be said loud.
That's true.
It can be said within our spirit.
That's
you know,
true.
like this one lady, she was saying, you know, when someone come arguing with you and all that, don't just verbally say, hey, you know, Satan, get behind me, you know. She said, don't say that, because that's going to have y'all arguing and fighting. Because now the person is going to say, oh, so y'all call me Satan?
Right,
so
right. No, that's true. That's true.
So she said, within your spirit, just say, Satan, get behind me. You know, within your spirit. And like, and it's so, you know, like, you know, even with arguments and quarreling, and it's in your environment, she said, just say within your spirit, with all sincerity, peace, be still. And she says, which I have done it, and it has worked, to where there's been some just noise, quarreling, you know. And I just said, peace, be still. And within a couple minutes, it just was quiet.
Yes.
And it's like, almost like, really
eerie, huh? Yeah, eerie,
you know,
like
because
that.
it's like, what were they arguing about?
Yeah.
Nothing.
A lot of times, as I say, you know, whereas to your point, not to give the enemy any credit, because he doesn't get any credit, but a lot of times what it is, there's these distractions that he brings up in front of you. I always say, anytime there's an argument, or some strife, or something that just pops up in a minute, there's something right there for you.
And you better know not to miss your blessings.
Brethren, I mean,
Sistren.
If some sistren, you know what I mean? If there's something that you step outside for right now and some lady just goes off and flies off at you, sit there and wait and see who's coming after her.
Like what blessings?
Yeah, who is there? Maybe there's somebody to pull up that you're gonna talk to, that's gonna lead you to something else, because the enemy can see your success better than you can.
Exactly.
And the thing of it is, it's almost that.
When you said that, I thought about the sea of people.
Yeah.
That was her distraction. It was like, well, I'm going to put 1 million people before her. And when she see the 1 million people, she's like,
how the heck I'm going to get there?
I'm going to reach him. You know what? Let me go make these dumplings.
Go bake this bread. They're eating bread.
You know what I'm saying? But she went through her.
She went through it. And the beauty of it is, as you said, all right, suppose when she got there, she was like, you know what? I gotta touch him. What if I should I say something? Suppose she had an inkling of doubt. Those start popping in her mind. She was just like, you know what? I'm reaching out. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And how about God knowing that somebody touched him? See, it wasn't the physical touch that he felt.
It's the spirit.
It was the spirit
fact it was
that
already,
her spirit came out of her, and it was that faith that was touching. It's the faith that she had that touched
so that
him.
goes back into saying, like I said, you just say within your spirit.
Yes.
Because that is what God deals with. It's not this. This is just
No,
mortality.
This is just a temple.
You know what I'm saying?
This is actually a temporary home, a shell for your soul to go through this, what we would call your sojourning here on earth, which you're a visitor.
Right.
You're a visitor, and
Exactly.
this is the shell of your temple that you're going to use to maneuver through this life here.
Can I share this?
Definitely.
When I read this really changed. It's just a small. It says about puffing up and boasting, and then it says you boast on your infirmities, because I'm not a self-pity type of person, but yes, I cry, I hurt, I lonely, that type of stuff.
Oh God,
right.
Of course.
But when I was saying, how do someone boast on their infirmity? How do you do that? That's the stuff. But then I was
you
like,
caught it.
Then when I was like knowing and feeling the strength that like one day I was like, man, I've been through some
That's it.
some stuff
That's
and
it.
so I was like, wow, but I'm stronger. I can endure.
Every homeless night, every hungry mission, every disrespect, every time.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, the apostles glorified and getting beaten for God's sake, for spreading the word. And when the Romans would capture them and beat the mess out of them and scourge them, they went back and sang songs, and we're glad for it. It was to their good. It was what I would say to their good pleasure that they were scourged for God. They looked at it as a plus.
Yeah, but you see, not to make them look like they was thrown off. You know, but to say when you boast in your infirmities, it's not gonna be while you're going through it.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be after you overcome it and say, "Boy, Rick, let me tell you." And then I start telling you my infirmities, but I'm actually boasting on it because we're here now.
Yes.
So I can boast on my infirmities because look where I'm at now. But when I was going through my infirmities, I wasn't going to boast in them.
No, because you couldn't see this forum now to say, damn, remember when I was on the street?
That's why I went through that.
I mean, you've been through sexual assault, homelessness, hungry, all kind of stuff. What was left for to be caught in a whirlwind in a hurricane? But you're here,
right? And then because it's okay. Like even take for instance the certificate for the barbering. I know God allowed me to go through that because I persevered and I achieved it. So Father, why is this thing hanging on my wall? Whose hair am I gonna cut? Or which nation of people hair am I gonna cut? Or it has to be some futuristic achievement now. Like it's a now achievement for future.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm not looking at it as a lost cause. I'm just waiting on God to lay the path of why I achieved that.
It is.
You understand?
No achievement is without what they call I'm trying to find the proper word, merit. There's no achievement that's without merit. So there's something that it was meant for. Whether it's today, 10 years from now, or for one specific person, you'll know. But there's no achievement without merit, because I thought about the same thing with the security thing that I did and got the license, went through all this training, I got this certificate, I got the license in my wallet right now. And I'm thinking like, okay, I've never held a job in this field. Yeah. And we got a minute left on the show, by the way, so let me finish my point. I can't recall. All right, I've had experience in it where you do some on the job type of training, but I've never actually like a company took me under their wing and I got this big job for it. So I know that there's something that it's meant for, and when I receive it, maybe what if one day I wind up owning my own apartment complex. I have my security license. I can offer them.
I don't think you would do security work at your own apartment.
But I'm saying I can head up a security firm and employ others. So I always think that there's some purpose for it. And like they said, there's no achievement without merit. So before we go, any shout outs that you want to make, because we are about to take it to the next level.
Well, I'm going to shout out to the world.
Yay, to the world.
To the world.
Hey, how about before we go, once more, for Shauna Stevens, Donna Johns, and Eunice Curry, thank you from Hope for Tomorrow, and in Minister Lovejoy, thank you so much. Andre Brown, Chris London, great job. Round of applause for all those names that we mentioned. Great tip of the hat to our wonderful graphics and technical team headed by Carl. My co-host with the most, knock it off, homegirl, Octavia Duane. Hey, it's your truly, Ricardo Stevenson. If you need to get in touch with me for any purpose, especially for the show or anything regarding the business growth and the plans that Minister Lovejoy has for her business class and for the conference call on 7, you can reach me at 845-9518. You know, Minister Lovejoy, she's the one that heads up the overseas. That's 1404-573-0027. Do not be afraid to contact us for any information, regardless if it's about the school or you want any efforts on the business, anything that you need. Contact us. We'll be very glad to help you. For Hope for Tomorrow, Ricardo Stevenson, Octavia Duane.
Reggae2Reggae.com.
Radio like you've never seen it, TV like you've never heard it. Hope for Tomorrow. We'll be back again next week, Monday, 7 to 9. Stay tuned. This is the best team in the business right now. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
I came from the bottom, now I'm on top, and all they haters wanna see a nigga fall, but I'm not 'cause I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. Pull on, and you don't wanna run. Ain't no way that I'm stopping. Never being the king, 4 quarters straight shots, and I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion. Tell them I'm a champion.
It's fourth quarter, 1 second, all you hear is swish. My motivation is to keep all the haters pissed. It's the anticipation, the way the crowd just sound. And I ain't talking home court when I'm stomping ground. Oh Lord, my Lancer, I'm gassed up in LA down to Atlanta.
I'm on top, and all they haters wanna see